Hello, this is Nicholls from Dudley Performing Arts, and this is our final online video lesson of the academic year. So in today's lesson we're going to be finishing our piece Lockdown Blues. We're going to be learning sections B, C and D, and then hopefully you'll be able to start putting the whole piece together and perform it through the backing track. Now this piece, remember, uses loads of the skills that we've been learning throughout the year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of you play it when we get back to school. Okay, so one of the first things you'll notice about section B is it's played on our treble strings. So in section A we're playing a riff on our bass strings, our bottom three strings here, and now we've moved on to our higher strings to play a melody. Now you'll also notice the dynamic has changed. So whereas we were playing mezzo forte in the first section, we're now playing mezzo piano, which instead of moderately loud we're going to be playing moderately soft. So we're going to pick the strings a little less hard, and we're going to be using an open E, which we all know, and a 3rd fret G, both on our first string, and we're also going to be using our open B and our 3rd fret D on the second string. Now we all know those notes really well. There is a little bit of this that goes up to a higher note. We've got to jump up to our A note, which is the 5th fret on the first string. And we're going to use our 3rd finger to do that and just shift our position up. So, I'll play a little bit and I want you to try and copy. So we're going to start with the first bar. It goes E, E, G, G, E. Okay, we'll try that again. E, E, G, G, E. Okay, now when you've got that first bar, we're going to move down onto our second string now, and we're going to play D, B, D, B, D, E. So we move back up to our first string for that last note. So I'll play, you copy. D, B, D, B, D, E. Try that again. D, B, D, B, D, E. Excellent. Now the third bar is exactly the same as the first bar that we played. So we're going to go back to E, E, G, G, E, and play that again. And then we finish off in our 4th bar, finish that line with G, G, E, D, E, G, G, E, D, E. Now that's a little bit trickier, that bar, because we have to switch down quite quickly onto our D note, but I'm sure you'll be able to cope with that with a bit of practice. Now the second line is nearly identical to the first line of section B. The only thing that changes is the very last bar. So I'll play a bar at a time and I'll play, you copy. So the first bar, E, E, G, G, E. Then the second bar, D, B, D, B, D, E. Then the third bar, E, E, G, G, E. Then in the 4th bar, this is where we jump up to our 5th fret and we play A, A, G, E, E. So I'll play that last bit again. A, A, G, E, E. And that's the whole of section B. If I put the whole thing together. Okay, so moving on to section C. You'll notice that this is completely different to the other sections because we're using chords. So in the tablature, all the notes are stacked up on top of each other. And we've also got the chord boxes above the top to tell us how to play our chord shape. So we need 3 chords for this section. We need an A minor chord, which you have played before, and I'll talk you through the chords. So our first finger is going to go on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Our second finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And our third finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And then we strum it from our 5th string to make an A minor chord. Now, the dynamics also changed for this. You'll notice it's just an F now, there's no M. So that means forte, which means we're going to be playing this section loud. So this is the loudest point of the whole piece for us, so we're going to really try and strum the strings loud. Now, we're going to just strum 3 crotchets, and then we're going to rest on beat 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, stop. Okay, so we'll try that again. 1, 2, 3, stop. So make sure you stop the strings from ringing on that 4th beat. Then we're going to change it to our E minor chord. Now, all we're going to do to change to E minor is take off our 1st finger and move our other 2 fingers up a string, so they go onto the 5th and the 4th string. So I've now got 2nd fret on the 5th string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, and I'm going to strum all my strings for this one. And I'm going to again do it 3 times, rest on beat 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, stop. Okay, try and copy after I've played it. 1, 2, 3, stop. Then we go back to our A minor, so again move our fingers back down, add our 1st finger back on, same rhythm. So that's exactly the same. And then we're going to move into a D chord. Now D is probably one of the trickiest chords we've learnt this year, so it's going to take a little bit of practice to get from the A minor to the D. And try and use that beat that you've got at the end where you're resting to try and already start moving your fingers over. So for a D chord, we're going to put our 1st finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Our 2nd finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and make sure there's a gap between the 2. And when we make our triangle by adding our 3rd finger onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So very important, when you move to the 2nd fret with these 2 fingers, make sure there's a gap between them, and then you can fill the gap with this one to make our triangle. And we're only strumming from 4th string for this one. And you'll notice the rhythm has changed. So we've got 2 sets of quavers and a crotchet. Now usually that would be coffee, coffee, tea. But because we've got swung quavers in this piece, we're going to be playing Humpty Dumpty tea. So it's a slightly different sound. So you can do it all with downstrokes, or you can try and do down up on the quavers. So down, up, down, up, down. Or we can just do all downstrokes if you need to. And then again, make sure you rest on beat 4. So I'll play, you copy. And again. Excellent. Now, the second line of section C does exactly the same thing. So I'll just play you the whole of section C, and you'll notice the whole thing repeats. So we go. And that's section C. So the final section of our piece is section D. Now you'll notice it goes back to mezzo forte, so we've gone slightly quieter again than we were in section C, and we've also gone back to the same riff that we played in section A. Now the only difference, we're only going to do it twice on our E riff this time, so it's... And then it changes in the 3rd bar. So we've just got a little ending where we're going to play 2 crotchets on E and B, and then we move on to our 4th string for a D, E, with 2 quavers, so we're going to play, and then again we're going to rest on beat 4 like we did in section C. Okay, and then we try and jump onto an E minor chord as quickly as we can. So it doesn't matter whether you use your first and second fingers or your second and third, as long as you get them onto the second fret on the fifth and fourth strings and then strum all the strings and hold that at the end of the piece. So the whole of section D sounds like this. So that's the whole piece. Rewind the video, try and play along with the backing track, all the notations there for you. I hope you've had fun doing these lessons. If you're lucky enough to have a guitar at home, if you've been watching these lessons and you haven't had a guitar at home, then that's great, you might have still learnt something. Or hopefully you've been looking at the vocal videos and the drum videos that I've been sending, the rhythm videos as well, so you're doing something musical. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all back in school and seeing how some of you have improved. When I haven't seen you, it's going to be a shock if you've been practicing your guitar for all this time. I haven't seen you for months now, so it's going to be a real shock when I come back and see you. If you need to, go back over any of the old videos. I'll send out all the links to your school so that they can give you all the links for every video in case you missed one, and you can go back and do them as many times as you like over the holidays. Hope you all have a good summer. See you soon. Bye.